Alright, so today I'll be talking about the internet's own boy. Now, this was filmed in 2014, 1 year after Aaron Swartz killed himself. The documentary sort of focuses on how messed up the American justice system is and how the early perception of the internet was treated. The documentary does a really good thing by sort of showing both sides of the story, as in it doesn't just focus on Aaron's side and it doesn't just focus on the FBI's side. This makes it a really neutral, independent sort of view, and it lets the viewer, us, make up our own decisions. There's a clever use of home footage here in Aaron's childhood, which sort of is quite unique to a documentary like this, because it almost shows his human side and how actually smart he was as a kid. One thing that I really like about this documentary is that each character who's getting interviewed has a background behind them, but also matches their personality, their position, their role, like perfect. You could almost say that the background behind the person sort of personifies them, which is quite nice to watch. One of the main parts that stood out to me was at the very end, where his legacy and what he did sort of stood out and just became bigger and bigger and bigger, and it grew. And once he passed, it got even bigger and more people got involved, and it made the internet how it is today. So although it mentions obviously very negative stuff, it has quite a compassionate and almost satisfying ending, which is quite nice. I think some of the wider points in the documentary are that the government really felt threatened about the whole thing. They were definitely threatened of the fear of the unknown. The government thought that they were being smart when really they were being completely unjust, biased, and just all around bad. They actually admitted to be using Aaron as an example, as sort of a deterrent to other people. But by doing that, they caused someone to take their own life, and then this massive big revolution came around with a hugely popular and well-respected figure gone. He left a legacy, and then millions of people fighting for his cause and wishing him freedom, although it was too late. In my opinion, I think the American government was completely wrong and broke many laws by doing this, and especially because at one point they were basically encouraging him to kill himself, as in they completely neglected any of his mental health and was just being completely unfair. I would recommend this documentary to anyone who's sort of interested in the history of the internet. The thing to take away from this is how the internet always seems to come together, especially in the face of difficulty. So that's my review of the internet's own boy. I hope you go and watch it, and yeah.